caution, the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
All right, happy motherfucking Monday. Y'all know how excited I've been about this goddamn show.
Oh, I know.
It's been months. I've been excited about this fucking show. Y'all, we got Scotch and Gray from Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. If you guys have not heard them, then obviously you haven't watched our show enough because we've been playing the fuck out of these guys for months now.
Yeah, we can play a bingo card for how many times you can say their names.
I just want a quick shout out to Dying Oath and that song you were playing. Oh my god, those guys fucking.
We love
those guys. I love them guys. Yep.
I met Mindy many years ago whenever I was with another radio station and we were doing a festival in Virginia called Metal in the Mountains.
All right.
And I met Mindy and the guys in Dying Oath for the first time, and we've been cool ever fucking since. So hopefully we'll be getting them back on, but they were kind enough to let us use their music for our intro for season 2.
Awesome.
So anyways, on that, we are going to get right the fuck into this. So I'm gonna let Moshmeloh start out. Usually I start out first. I'm gonna let you. Yeah.
Well, then fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the nerd shit. Star Wars or Star Trek?
What was that?
Star Wars. Star Wars. No, wait. Hold on.
Don't kill me, Greg. Don't kill me.
Man, I don't know. Honestly,
let's see. Go ahead.
I'm a sci-fi fan. But there's just so much, I don't know, stuff surrounding both of those that, like, I don't know, man. I don't really like either of them, honestly.
I mean, I'm not.
I'll take that over Star Trek.
Honestly, I don't know.
Option C, Blade Runner. No.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say I think Star Wars was kind of like, bigger by an explosion when especially in the first trilogy and some of the second trilogy. But Star Trek, I think overall is just culturally impactful. Even the worst episodes and worst content that comes out of the Star Trek IP is just completely beloved. So I think I have to go Star Trek as far as I mean, if this was A game show, I would say. Star Trek. Show me Star Trek. Ah.
I am a giant Star Wars fanatic. Giant Star Wars fanatic, and I'll admit it. I even like some of the Disney shit, and I know some of the hardcore fucking Star Wars people are like, "Fuck the Disney stuff." Hey, you know what? It goes back to my childhood. It's one of the very first things that my great grandfather ever introduced me to, and I've loved it ever fucking since. Between that and fucking horror films.
Oh yeah. Horror films where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I got Nightmare.
Yeah, I know, and we gonna get into some horror film shit. So actually, we're gonna do that right now since we fucking mentioned it.
Hey, why not? Hey, someone mentioned horror films.
Yeah. So, what is hands down your favorite horror film?
Wes Craven's 1996 Scream.
Damn.
Off the cuff.
That's fast, real fast.
Yeah, damn. Oh man.
Jakey and I get together like on a weekly basis to watch Scream stuff just constantly. So
Like that was one of the first horror movies I've ever been introduced to as a kid, because like growing up, you're not supposed to watch this, but yeah,
I keep forgetting how much younger you are than me because I'm just like
only 10 years younger than you.
God damn, I was an adult when Scream came out. Like for me, like what my favorite horror film of all time is Dead Alive, which a lot of people are like.
My god, holy shit! That movie blew my fucking mind when he took the chainsaw out, or not the chainsaw, the fucking lawnmower, cutting through the dirt. Yeah, I was young and I was like, "What is this shit?" Yeah, wow, that's good. Yeah, not a lot of people know about Dead Alive, so
no, they don't, and especially when I hear who directed it and wrote it, that blows their mind even more.
Who was? I guess I don't realize.
It was Peter Jackson.
Oh,
the Rings.
Oh my god! Holy
yeah, it was Peter
shit.
Jackson who wrote and directed that.
I'm going back to watch it again. It's been a while. That's amazing.
Yeah, he did it. He did it when he was in college, and then he also did two other movies that were kind of in that same like indie horror film vein that were very cheap and low budget, which was Bad Taste 1 and 2.
Okay.
So if you've ever seen those, it's ridiculously like alien horror films, but they are ridiculously cheap, but it's worth watching it.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't.
Watch them for free on Tubi. They're on Tubi for free.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Scotch, what you got? What's your favorite horror film?
Oh man, I got a couple in mind because my first one might be a little bit of a cop out. I don't know if it's considered horror, but I think back in the day it maybe was. But I think it's got to be like Jaws.
Okay. No, good answer. Let's see Jaws.
Jaws freaking rules.
Ding ding ding.
All right, cool.
If we had to go full on, I think some of my favorite, one of my favorite ones that would probably freak people out would probably be 28 Days Later. That's probably one of my favorite.
That was a good one. I actually really like that one. They're doing a new one.
I saw that. Yep. I love 28 Weeks Later too.
Isn't it 28 years later? Is that that's what they're doing? They skipped months. They didn't want to go months. 28 fortnights. There's other ways they could have broken this down before they jumped a year.
They waited like 10 freaking years before they made it. So
I know y'all can barely see shit, but you got a band in here, the Rising Fall.
Rising Fall. Hey,
Rising Fall. Yep, good friends, good new friends of ours. Check them out.
They actually mentioned the movie Phantasm. Yes, I actually own the entire collection of Phantasm.
Phantasm. Ooh, wow. Okay.
I have a very large horror movie collection, very large, of a lot of and I like a lot of really hard to find shit, and I liked a lot of independent stuff I watched a lot of the Full Moon Pictures like Puppet Master. Puppet Master was one of my first horror films as a kid, was the very first Puppet Master. and shit from Trauma Entertainment, like the Toxic Avenger, Class of Nukem High. I like a lot of the chop it up gore films and shit like that. Or if y'all really want to get into some really grotesque shit, go find a little gem called Street Trash and give that a fucking whirl, because it is terrible. It is terrible.
I think that might be our next song title.
If you've ever seen, have you ever seen Hobo with a Shotgun?
I've heard great things.
Yeah, watch that too. It's in the same vein.
Okay. I know. I remember that heyday of just kind of like it was almost kind of like around the time of like Robert Rodriguez's like kind of comeback and like huge like revival, and like the indie scene, like Netflix had just kind of like started peaking. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly.
You are right. You are right. Well, I guess I was in my late 20s when Hobo with a Shotgun came out, and I'm 41 now. So it's been a little bit. All right, Moshmeloh, what you got for the boys?
So what are y'all doing when y'all are not touring or not recording or anything else like that, other than working, of course?
Oh, I like to watch 1996 Wes Craven's Scream.
And only that.
And only that. Scotch, what do you got? What do you like to do?
Well, where the whole nerd thing comes in, I like to play a lot of video games. When I'm not doing much, when I'm just chilling, I'm pretty much
favorite
video games. Favorite video game? Oh,
yeah,
it's got it. Okay, I can name that right off the bat. It's got to be Resident Evil 2 on the OG PlayStation. That's
okay. I was about to ask you as well, because that actually tied into you actually tied into another question. Are you a PlayStation, Xbox, or PC?
Oh man, if I wasn't worried about screwing up my camera trying to show you everything in here, you would see that I literally have every console in this bitch right now.
Fuck yes.
I got my PS5 right here. There's Xbox over here. My PC's down here. I got a freaking Switch and another Xbox in the living room. We do all our streaming. We got an Xbox in the freaking bedroom. I guess primarily Xbox, but yeah, but I don't discriminate. I like it all. All for their different reasons. So I just recently got the PS5, and really I got it so I could play Resident Evil in VR.
Ooh,
I guess I'm old and boring, because there's only like 2 games I play: Madden and fucking Destiny 2. I'm a big Destiny fan.
I played Destiny 2 for a long while back in the days.
I'm still playing it. And now that they got rights to Star Wars stuff, and they have like Star Wars fucking uniforms and shit now that you can get.
Sucked you right in, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I got sucked right. And I started kind of leaning out of it and starting to venture into other games. Like I've been playing some of the Star Wars games, and I just started up that new Star Wars open world game.
Oh, okay.
And getting into that, and then all of a sudden I see Destiny 2. It's like, oh, we have Star Wars rights, so now we have all this shit from Star Wars. I'm like, oh. All right, here I go back into Destiny.
Yeah.
You think you're getting out of it, but they just grab you and pull you back in.
I know. God damn, they just fucking think of ways to just pull you back in. And
yep.
Get all that.
Y'all gonna have to get up with us after the show so we can go over screen.
Sorry, share profiles. Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
Nuts. So
okay,
on that, if you guys could go on tour with any 3 bands of your choice, dead or alive, who would you go on tour with?
Man, I knew you were going to ask this. I really should have thought about this one. I want to go with so many bands. Like, it's hard to pick 3, but oh man. You got anything popping out at you, Gray, before I
so like, just because it's not even like personal taste. I mean, some of it's personal taste, sure, but like it just immediately my brain coming from like, doing like marketing stuff. I'm just like, oh, Ice Nine Kills, Electric Callboy, Motionless. I'm like, okay, let's go. Like from a business perspective, like that's
Callboy is I got introduced to them just over freaking TikTok. I'm like, who the fuck are these? Wait, what? Huh? Because like I immediately went to go find all their shit as well, and
I love the fact that they consider themselves porno metal.
Probably at some point they've had a very like eclectic history and career. Like they didn't break out in the States until like 10-12 years into their careers.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I've known about them for quite a long time because again, that was another one of those bands that I found on YouTube because like being a DJ and being in radio, I'm on and doing it mainly for indie bands. I spend countless hours every day looking for indie bands on YouTube, and that's how I ran into them. And I ran into them far before they ever hit the radio waves over in the States.
I mean, they had a couple like like Crystals obviously was really huge. Some of the stuff before they had picked up Nico on vocals. Sorry, I'm gonna. I can talk about Electric Callboy for far too long. So I'm trying to buy time for Scotch to figure out his answer. Did you get it? Did you get it?
Oh man, I would really like to actually tour with Motionless in White, though. I think
quit copying my answers, Scotch. Jeez, no cheating. Quit looking.
Oh, actually, here we go. So they just recently announced they were getting back together. Another favorite band of all time for me, fucking Spine Shank. I would love to go on tour.
Oh yes,
Spine Shank would be amazing.
I rock that shit on drums like constantly. Those guys. Oh man.
Is Santos still fronting?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, perfect. Let's do it.
I see it because I am friends with him on Instagram, and I've been trying to get Santos onto the show, which hopefully.
That would be awesome.
I seen him post it. Now I remember because I was a huge back in the day when Freddy versus Jason came out and that soundtrack came out.
Yep, I love that soundtrack.
That was like one of the greatest fucking soundtracks.
Was that New Disease? No,
beginning
was it?
Of the end.
No, beginning of the end.
Yeah, beginning of the end. New Disease was fucking hell. I just listened to it the other day. Goddamn.
I mean, it was
man.
But back in the day, Spine Shake and 36 Crazy Fists were two of my favorite fucking bands that I was just down about.
Yep.
And I remember going to Welcome to Rockville one year, and I got the shock of my life because I went to the pre-party. Well, they wouldn't tell you ever who was like really playing the pre-party. You just kind of went if you wanted to go. So I went one year, and it ended up being it was POD, Non-Point, Avatar, which is when I discovered Avatar for the first time. 36 Crazy Fists, Spine Shank played it, and fucking who else played that goddamn shit? Texas Hippie Coalition.
Aside from Texas Hippie Coalition, there was one other I didn't recognize. Wait, where was it? It started with an A.
Avatar?
Yeah, Avatar. What's that? Who's that? I haven't heard of them.
You've never heard of Avatar?
No, honestly, no. I haven't. I've heard. I know it's every other band you mentioned.
Yeah, go to YouTube and go look up the band Avatar.
Okay, I'll be right back. Can we pause the show and I'll be right back?
Yeah, Avatar is fucking amazing. They are from Sweden. And at the time they couldn't speak a fucking lick of English, but they did sing in English. And I met them, bought like 3 of their fucking t-shirts because they just impressed me that much. Ran into them again like 2 years later at Welcome to Rockville again, but they were playing one of the big stages. And these motherfuckers actually remembered who the hell I was and walked right up to me. And they're like, hey, we met you a few years ago. You're the only motherfucker in the whole crowd that bought shirts from us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so we hung out, had a good time, and I've been a fan ever since. But they're a fucking great band.
Yeah, I have heard some of their stuff. Not extensively, but yeah, they got some really crazy shit that I do vibe with for sure.
They're very good. All right, Moshmeloh, you're on deck, homeboy.
If y'all could have y'all's absolute dream bus that has everything on it that you wanted, what would it be? I mean, obviously, it's going to be a gaming room.
Well, first, my first thought was nobody else. Everybody else gets their own bus, right? Like, because that's my first thing. Is it's got to be mine. I'm not sharing shit.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully we can afford that. Let's put that in the budget.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you had an unlimited budget, and you
mini bar,
anything on the bus that you wanted, what are some of those things that you would want on that bus?
Oh man,
I'm gonna give you a freebie because, like I said, I've poured for like 15 plus fucking years of my life. A working bathroom and shower.
I imagine you really can't overstate the importance of a working bathroom and shower on the tour bus for sure.
Yeah. Trust me, because the first time that you ever have to get off of stage covered in fucking sweat and you can't shower because the shower doesn't work and nothing's open and you have to lay down in your bed covered in fucking sticky sweat and you have to sleep in that shit, it is god awful and you will never forget it.
Yeah, so probably what I would want is probably like an entire stock's worth of cologne, so I don't have to smell everyone's stinky ass after getting up.
Shot fire!
Oh yeah, man. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe just a freaking mini bar or just somewhere I can get a fucking tray of nachos or something. I'm a big nachos fan.
Yeah, can I get
some nachos and have a drink? Then I don't need anything else.
I'm with you. Nachos and tacos.
Can I just get like a Taco Bell just installed directly into the tour bus? Just
yeah.
Unlimited budget. Yeah.
That's brave. That's brave because
well, we already have the working toilet. We already have the working toilet. We're good.
We need to make sure we have the working toilet before we get to Taco Bell.
Wish number 1. Wish number 2 is Taco Bell. We win.
I'm pretty damn sure that anybody who eats Taco Bell becomes an automatic fucking human shit cannon the minute they fucking eat that shit.
Maybe to you.
Well, oh yeah, definitely me.
Yeah,
definitely goddamn Niagara Falls in fucking 30 minutes. It's not good. It's not.
I don't know, man. If I had to go toe to toe, Taco Bell and Del Taco.
So I would prefer like a straight up Mexican joint, like just straight up.
Oh yeah, authentic. Okay, yeah, okay. You know what? You're right. I'm not thinking big enough here. Yeah. Can I get an authentic Mexican restaurant installed inside my tour bus? Thank you.
That would be done.
God, you're a lot of fidgeting, man. Chill the fuck out. What the hell's wrong with you?
On that, and we're talking about the mini bar. What is your drink of choice?
Well, despite my name, I actually enjoy whiskey.
Okay.
Maker's Mark being my whiskey of choice, I think.
Oh, we could drink together because that's
yes.
I'm a big bourbon guy, so I like my Maker's Mark. I like fucking 1792, some Jim Beam.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Crown, I don't mind Crown. Crown's pretty good.
Now, what you gotta do is try the Crown Peach with tea and mix it.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, huge fan of peach also, so that's right up my alley too.
There you go.
I've tried it before. On
Crown Peach with tea or the Crown Apple with ginger ale.
Yep, I've done it. I've done ginger ale. Let's see, any like, I guess what I deem lighter like sodas, like ginger ale, Mountain Dew, Sprite, any of that stuff. It goes well. It doesn't really necessarily go well with like Maker's Mark or anything else like that, but for whatever reason, like that and
Maker's
Crown
Mark
is just
if you're gonna mix it. Me bourbon, I drink it straight, just straight on ice. Yeah. But if you're going to mix it, it's got to be Coke. Like bourbon and Coke are just
Sometimes I get bored though, so then I'm like, all right, what else we got? So like Coke, and then I'll switch to like diet or not diet, fuck that, but like Dr. Pepper or like.
I was gonna say, is it the new meta like Diet Coke with like whiskey and bourbon and stuff like that? Like I thought that was kind of the new thing.
My grandmother, and this is disgusting, it's horrible, but this was her drinking choice. Is so fucking nasty. It was Canadian Mist whiskey and fucking Diet Coke. Now, I don't even know if Canadian Mist whiskey still exists, but it was like the low end, like lowest of the low whiskey. It was like $12 for a handle.
Yeah, I can't do whiskey. I don't. I can't.
Yeah, they got it up here, and it's on the most bottomest shelf you could find that shit on.
Yep, that's what my grandmother would drink every day. Canadian whiskey and Diet Coke.
Yeah, put hair on your chest.
I don't know about that. Unfortunately, this shit ended up killing her. But
moderation.
Exactly.
Rising Fall sitting here trying to kill me. They sitting here bringing out tequila. No.
Yeah. Yes. See, that's okay. That's where I'm at. That's kind of my.
I love tequila, but
love tequila.
I'll start loving every one of you guys, and there'll be a whole nother weird. Yeah.
So can we keep the tequila off of Scotch's minibar on that tour bus question from earlier?
Yeah, or just give me that tiny bottle. You know, that'll be good. Then I can just drink something else.
A little pocket rocket.
Yeah. When I get that stuff makes me too drunk. When I get too drunk, oh fuck. I love everybody. I love you guys.
I'm the same way. Don't feel bad. I'm the exact same way.
Okay, good.
Everybody's like, are you a fucking mean drunk? No, I'm everybody's best friend. I love everybody whenever I drink. I love everybody.
Floor with tequila, as I call it, to kill you.
Yeah,
to kill you.
It will kill you. That stuff is. Whew, that's juice.
See, I first off, I'm never taking shots. I don't do shots of anything. Period. End of story. No shots. Bad idea. I will throw up, and it will come very quickly. Now, I like a good margarita. I love a good margarita.
Dude, you don't even need to interview me. You're literally taking the words right out of my mouth. I don't freaking like doing shots either, and I also love a good margarita. Like, yes. Here's my fucking brother from another mother, man.
Exactly. Fucking a good margarita. It's gotta be good. It can't be super fucking sweet. I don't want that sugary shit. It's gotta be a good balance. A really good margarita, not too much of the fucking sweet and sour mixer, because then it's just nasty.
You want the authentic margarita to go with that authentic Mexican food.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And then find a toilet about 20. No, I'll say 5-10 minutes after that. 20 might be pushing it.
Now, there is a Mexican joint right down the street from where I live that actually they make their own tequila in house.
Oh.
And tequila, they made me do a shot one time. It was my birthday. It was my last birthday. I went in there, and everybody knows me because I go in there and eat like once or twice a week. And I went up in there, and they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday, free tequila." And I'm like, "No, not free. no, yes, free tequila. You come you come all the time, and blah blah blah. We know your whole family. Yeah, you get free tequila." And I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
I think those are the most beautiful words I've ever heard in my life.
This is gonna be so bad. So they are like, house tequila. I'm like, oh shit. And they bring it out, and I'm not kidding you. I took a shot of this tequila. There was no burn whatsoever.
Ooh.
None. Like, you couldn't even tell. It was almost like I was just drinking tap water.
Danger zone.
Oh, it was. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I took that first shot, and I was like, no burn. I'm not choking. I'm not gagging. This is not good. This is bad. This is all bad.
And then you're I don't feel a thing. And then you stand up and you're like, holy shit, what just happened to me?
Yeah, then you feel like Mike Tyson just fucking punched you in the goddamn fucking mouth.
You think you're looking at it the wrong way. That sounds amazing. Yay! Tequila without the bad stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, right.
That would be fantastic if that was legitimately a thing. That would be absolutely wonderful. All right, so on that, Moshmeloh, you were up on deck, homie.
So, given the fact that y'all are gamers, do y'all play Baldur's Gate?
I have played Baldur's Gate 3, but coincidentally enough, I never played any of the ones before that.
So, what's your D&D? What's your character? That's my main question.
Oh man.
Okay. What role are you playing? Okay.
I know what it is. I just have to remember what it was. I think Paladin was my character of choice, I believe. I'm not even sure if that was in 3. Was that in 3?
Which one?
The Paladin? I think the Paladin was, yeah. Yep. I'm a pally.
Okay, I could have seen that going a different way. I was thinking Tiefling.
Tiefling.
Could be, yeah, you know.
Maybe a halfling, yeah.
Well, see, he's absolutely lost right now.
Yep.
I usually, if I have an option between like race and class, I'm usually going to go a it kind of depends on whatever modifiers are happening on the elves side of things. I might go with like a half elf or a high elf. If I go with a high elf, I don't know. Sometimes if I go with, damn man, it's a heavy question. If I'm going half elf, I tend to go a little bit more cleric kind of base on that. High elf, probably throw a little bit more magic and stuff in there. I don't know, sometimes I do a ranger class, but really cleric's where my heart is. So
see, I'm always the barbarian. Always.
Yeah, I play barbarian too, and a lot of other like RPG games and things like that. Because sometimes I feel like it's simple but still fun. You can just walk up and just fucking cleave somebody, and you're like, well, that's all I'm doing. Move on to the next thing.
Great stress reliever.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. So, music question. What was that one moment in your life that you decided that you want to be a musician? Was it another band? Was it a music video? What was that instance that you were just like, so everybody's got it. Every musician's got it.
I got this.
All
right. I'm 14 years old in high school at the monthly open mic night that gets held in the school cafeteria or whatever, like after hours. Some teacher volunteers and to kind of chaperone or babysit while everyone just gets together and does their open mic night. And there was a band of other like students there, like popular students, ones that were like popular with girls. And I turned to my buddy who was next to me. I was like, "Yo, I mean, if these two guys can do it, I mean, we certainly can." And he was like, "Oh, I call bass." I'm like, "Nah, I'll take bass. You can have guitar." And that was it. I looked at these two guys. I'm like, "Oh man, they're kind of terrible, but they're popular with the ladies." It was a different time. It was high school, That was the number one thing on my mind was, ooh, I might be able to get a girlfriend with this. I might be able to impress somebody with this. I might be able to get someone to, look at my wiener, like, hey, like.
Yeah, and back then all you had to do was carry a guitar, and they'd probably look at it.
All right. I'm not going to say it didn't work, okay? Like.
That is hands down probably one of the greatest things I've ever heard on this show. That is going to live forever in the angles of sound injection.
Yeah. Somebody needs to make a clip of that. That's going to go viral.
Don't clip
it. That's happening.
No chat. Don't clip it.
That's going on TikTok.
Oh yeah. all of a sudden, yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of, our streams are gonna start popping off. We're gonna be like, what the hell? And then we're just gonna see great streamer all over the fucking.
That man don't wear plaid with the new hit song. Look at my wiener. Extended jazz edition.
Yeah, we have so many nutty ideas that actually might not even necessarily be off the table, to be honest.
Hey, I mean, really, these days, if you really think about it, like I've seen so many bands come out with stuff from everything from using saxophones to mixing all these different genres. And if you really pay attention to it, everybody wants to knock heavy metal and talk shit about metal so much, but we're the only genre that you can damn near mix fucking anything into it and it's still fucking good.
Yeah, we're the cranberry juice of music. You got your cran grape, you got your cran apple, you got your cran. You know what I mean? Like,
I never thought about that. That's a fuck. You're right.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. And I think even our band too, like if you listen to like our kind of catalog of what we have now, we touch so many different genres, and it's like, I mean, that's kind of what we want to do. We don't just want to stick to one thing. We got a couple of things in the pipeline that aren't anything like what we've done. And like, that's how we're kind of trying to stay fresh with it as far as the recordings go. So,
well, I kind of feel like the minute that you put yourself into a box, you fucked yourself.
Yep. Agreed.
Because if you put yourself in that box, it's only for so long before you run out. And you're going to run out of space, or essentially you're going to run out of oxygen, because you're like, I have to sound like this, I have to be like this, and this is how I kind of feel about the fucking genres.
Yep.
I hate the genre thing.
I have opinions.
Yeah, as a band, I agree wholeheartedly. As like a listener who would not be in a band, I don't know. I'm very particular about some things. Like, I don't know. For me, it's just got to chug. It's just got to have that jun. Like.
See, now there he goes, putting us in a box. Got to have that chug. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, Scott. Please.
Yeah, that's what I like to listen to. So, but yeah, after you listen to 5, 6, 7, 10 albums of that, it does start to get a little stale over time. But I don't know. In today's climate, you almost sometimes, if you do that, you don't even dare change because of like how quick a freaking fan base can just turn on you.
Don't want to alienate the fan base.
Yeah. And these guys haven't done it, because if they've done it, if they've tried to be in a band and do these things, they would realize, like, probably like most people with their everyday jobs, when you're doing it long enough, like, you get sick of that shit. You got to move on. So
I'm so eclectic, and I'm all over the board. Like my first, like if you're talking like big bands, my top 5 are right off the bat is Sleep Token, Deftones, Marilyn Manson, Mastodon, and Whitechapel.
Okay.
And they're all over the place. And that's my 5 like major top bands. Now, if you're talking about independent bands, top 5, you guys for me, fucking Strange Like Me, Dying Oath, Ember, and fuck, I don't know who King Kraken from the UK is gonna be. That's gonna be my top 5 like independent bands.
Nice.
And they're all over the fucking thing, and it kind of plays into my own band, because us as a band, we experiment with all kinds of shit, violins, saxophone, fucking all kinds of shit.
Now, see, there was a band before that had the violin in it, and I think I showed it to you.
Dreamwake. I showed it to you.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, that shit was hard.
Yeah, it's the band Dreamwake. They're metal. They're metalcore. They also interject 80s pop synth and saxophones.
Yep. You guys had what was that? Promises Unsaid a few weeks ago. And yeah, I thought their mix of just like kind of pop metal was like, oh man, yeah. Anything like metalcore-esque where it's got the beautiful choruses and then it just grabs you and just rips your freaking asshole out right after that beautiful chorus.
Yeah.
Like,
I love Promises Unsaid because they're like NSYNC meets like fucking Kill Switch Engaged.
Yeah, it's nutty. I watched that show and I went to their Spotify and I was cruising that whole catalog. I was like, oh my god, this is the shit right here.
Yeah, they are absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Now, my next musical question for you is: if you could spend a day with any major heavy metal, hard rock, whatever icon, who would that person be and why?
Man,
always with the thinkers.
Oh, I know my answer already. I'm just waiting on Scotch.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, the answer is no one. Never meet your heroes. I don't know, man. A little cynical on that one. I've met a few people that I looked up to, and they with that saying "never meet your heroes." It rings true more often than not. So I know better. Like if I idolize someone or something, or have that ideation of it, then I wouldn't want to risk it. I wouldn't want to risk changing my worldview of them if they turn out to just be some absolute dickhole. But
I got to meet mine because my biggest idol was Lemmy from
Motorhead.
Obviously, Motorhead.
Yep.
Okay, well, Lemmy is fucking Lemmy.
It was a shit. I've actually never told this story. So I was living in Connecticut, and my band ended up getting the opening spot and playing early for the Mayhem Festival. And Slipknot was on it, Motorhead was on it, Anthrax, Devil Wears Prada, Whitechapel. There's a lot of badass bands. Well, they let us. There was like a band area in the back where there was like your own bar and games and shit like that you could play. Even if you're just a local band, they let you back there. Well, I had just caught my girlfriend cheating on me in a fucking urinal. I was having a bad day.
Wow.
So I was back there fucking just depressed, fucked up. I was, low 20s or whatever, feeling all shitty about myself. And all of a sudden I hear this voice come up. He's like, man, you look like you're having a terrible fucking day. And I was like, I am. And he was like, let's have a drink. Drink what? He goes, Jack Daniels will cure everything. He was like, you smoke? And I said, yeah. And he slides me a cigarette. I pick it up and I light it. And the bartender brings us things, and I'm sitting there, and they had TVs up, and of course it was football season, so I'm sitting there watching fucking football. And he was like, what happened? What's wrong with you? So I told him the fucking story, and he's like, you're fucking kidding me? He's like, fuck that cunt. And I hadn't even looked at him. I was still just paying attention. I look over, and it's fucking Lemmy.
Oh my god!
That'd be amazing.
I about shit myself.
Mm-hmm.
And awesome. I was like, I don't mean to be weird, but you're literally the reason that I play music, and you're literally the reason that I chose to play bass, and you're literally the reason that I'm into metal, and you started my whole entire career and everything, radio, bands, the whole 9 yards. And he sat there and talked to me for like 2.5 hours.
Nice.
Before he went up. But I've also, just like Gray said, I've had people tell me stories where they met their idols and they were vastly disappointed because they were assholes.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen though. I mean, you meet your idol thinking they're all going to be great, and then all of a sudden, fuck, never should have done that.
Yeah, sometimes it's about separating that art from that personality. We get so tied up into into enjoying the artwork that that feels like that should extend to the person who made it, but sometimes these people are just assholes. Actually, I think we have a song about that. Isn't that parasocial activity? I think that's something. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be a lot of stuff you can take away from parasocial activity for sure. Is this question alive or dead type question when you about meeting your idol?
They could be dead. They could be dead. Sure.
I think maybe for me, I'm just gonna throw it out and say probably Joey Jordison, because before Slipknot became the animal that they are now, I really I love everything he did, and I've basically kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to say copied, but maybe molded a lot of my drumming or my technique. A lot of that came from like watching him play, and so like he's probably got to be one of my favorite drummers.
Hey, don't feel bad, because it was the same thing with me, because Lemmy was a pick player. A lot of people look down upon bass players that play with a pick, but Lemmy played with
different sounds, man. It all depends on the sound you're going.
Yeah, I play with the pick because you get a percussive attack out of it. It works really well with metal, especially if you line it up with the kick drum. It makes sense. It's whatever. It's like it sonically makes sense. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm mad about it.
Yeah. Oh, you touched the nerve here.
I've had so many bands talk shit to me about playing, fucking bass with a fucking pick.
That's the thing, man. I'm so sick of just.
The only other thing that would be better and beyond from that is pop and slap, because that's the ultimate, right? That's the ultimate percussive, like really locked in with the drums, really locked in on the rhythm section. Like that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a pick is right there, not next to it. It's quite a bit lower, but I'm still gonna take a pick over fingerstyle, especially when it comes to metal. Let's say within the context of playing metal.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just, I'm so sick of, I guess you would call it the gatekeepers that are like, it's got to be played this way, it's got to be played that way. Like, right. I just, however you want to play it is like your unique sound. It's not necessarily with or without a pick, or, what type of skin or stick, or you name it. Like anytime I see that shit on the internet, it kind of makes my fucking blood boil. I'm like, who are you to tell somebody else how they can or can't play an instrument?
Exactly. But also, if it's not Remo and Vic Firth, then you're doing it wrong.
Damn.
We're gonna have a chat later.
Just wait till this podcast ends.
Yeah.
All right, Moshmeloh, you're up on deck, homeboy.
Oh, I've been having this one in the works for a minute. Which song would y'all put a game in, and which game would it be? Shit, I fucked that all up.
Yeah, you did. You fucked up big time.
Which song of yours would you put in a game, and which game would it be?
Versus Tekken 9.
What?
Versus Tekken 9.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's listen to Versus. It's about Tekken 9. It's about Tekken.
I knew that. I knew one of you was gonna say Versus. I was like, well, it's gonna be Versus because goddamn music video. If you've ever seen the fucking music video for Versus,
yes.
You know what, y'all that are watching, I'm gonna play Versus this Friday on Plugged In.
Oh my god, it's our first release. Production quality is kind of ass, and the video quality. It's a fun video, but it's definitely first release kind of thing, But I still holds a special place in my heart, especially because
I played it on the show several times.
Oh yeah, well it's just we were just really into Tekken, and we didn't want to do a Mortal. Everyone wants to refer to it as like the Mortal Kombat song because of the round one, but. The lore, the actual lyrics, completely Tekken. It's all Hayachi and the entire family. It's. All
right, me and you are best friends now.
You haven't seen Versus?
Yes, I have seen verses, but I wanted they could have chose an entirely different song. You know, never know.
Yeah, I mean, really, to have any song in a video game would be freaking amazing. I would just anything in our catalog. If anybody came to us, I would say take it all. And I think probably some of the games I would put them in just for exposure purposes would be some kind of freaking sports game or like a racing game or something, because that's where I've heard like a lot of other bands that I'm like, who the hell is this? Like, or on radio playing like GTA or something, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, okay, this is legit. Like, that's how I found Skindred. I think they were on like a
Skindred.
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Yes.
Yes, yes, that's the best racing game. I was like, "What the hell is this song?"
Was it Underground 2?
Yes, it was Underground 2.
Okay, yeah, because it's
that had Mudvayne Not Falling was on there.
Yep.
And Spider Bait, Black Betty was on there.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be one of my other bands too. I would really love to tour with Mudvayne. Mudvayne that was the first concert I ever went to, and dude came out in like a full like rabbit costume, but the rib cage was all ripped out and had like a bloody heart sticking out of it. And I was just like, holy shit. First of all, how can you play with that shit on? Because it's got to be 8,000 degrees, but like they put on one hell of a show. And I've seen them a handful of times after that as well. So really awesome band.
To walk back my previous statement just a teeny tiny bit. As a bass player that plays with a pick, I can't be within 500 yards of Ryan Martini. So
I know he is. Oh my god, yeah. His bass, the whole freaking band is just separately talented. When put together is like fucking they're Ultron or some shit. With our power.
I'm looking
combined.
They're like Juilliard trained. They all went to music school. They met at music school, like secondary, trade school or whatever.
I'm going to Welcome to Rockville this year, and I've tried to see Mudvayne 50 million times, and something always failed every time I've tried to see them live. So finally, I will be seeing them at Welcome to Rockville this year. So I'm super fucking stoked that I finally, because they've been one of my bucket list bands forever.
Wow, it really sounds like you're happy about it and that you're not falling into the same trap of missing them before, right? Yeah. I mean, it feels like the opportunity is really in bloom for you to be able to see them this year.
Oh my god, fucking Pun Master Flash over here.
Fucking better.
I was like, I hope they catch on.
As long as none of my bandmates get us locked up or we go to jail for something.
Oh my god, yeah. Don't jinx yourself.
Oh, shit. I mean, if anybody's gonna get locked up, it'll probably be you.
Why does everybody say that?
I don't know.
I'm not that bad.
Huh?
I'm not that bad.
I mean, I do it just to fuck with you.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah. Who's the next one you're gonna hire? Do you have a list?
Oh, so I recognize it's within your first 90 days, which means you're technically on probation. And unfortunately, we live in a right to work state, and so
actually, we do live in a right to work state.
Most of them are these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Moshmeloh, you're up, homie.
Redeem yourself.
Snowy Alps or Bahamas?
Ooh. Oh, Bahamas. Fuck this snow. Yeah, oh, sorry, Scotch. Go ahead.
Too.
Okay,
that's fine because I live in a very snowy area, so I would love to just go to the Bahamas and say fuck all the snow.
I assume you like it up there in the snow. That's why you live there.
Because you guys,
I don't mind it, but
you guys are from Little Rock, correct?
Yeah. Tech and I are based out of Little Rock. But then we have Duck over in Arizona and Scotch, who is located, I don't know, North Pole, I think.
Yeah, close enough. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
No,
we got a whole triangle of freaking shit going on here. So
hey, don't feel bad. My band is the same way, so don't feel bad. One of us in Texas, I'm in South Carolina, one's in North Carolina, so we're fucking scattered all over the goddamn place. So we fucking get it.
I'm in Texas right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm working remotely today.
All right. Gotcha. That's fucking that shit. That fucking works.
Yeah, he didn't just paint his room gray. I'm just noticing now. Somehow I can see through this shit and notice that you're in a gray room right now.
Yeah, normally I would do the green screen and all that and make some fancy out of the backdrop, but
that works.
I got the green screen. I just don't have anything going on right now.
All right, so before we get into the ending, I got one. If you could play any genre other than what you play, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm all over this one, so just keep your mouth shut, Gray. Just kidding.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. You do you.
If I wasn't playing metal, I would probably want to play gangsta rap because I was a huge fan of Bone Thugs and NWA and all of that freaking late 80s, early 90s hip hop. And I might have actually even pursued it, but as a white boy, this was pre Eminem, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And plus, I didn't grow up in any hard streets or anything like that, so really, what am I don't know,
parts of Minnesota go pretty hard.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's the meth.
Wait, isn't that what we were talking about?
No. That was fucking fantastic.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just another genre that I vibe with. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right, Gray, what you got?
I don't really have an answer for that because I do a lot of I do a fair amount of like the writing and stuff with like the music as is, and it's one of those things where if I wanted to play a different genre, I would just add it into the song. I'm just going to start adding those influences in, like, because it's metal. It's the cranberry juice. Like I don't know. It's like I mean, if we were to kind of rephrase it and say, like, maybe if I'm not listening to metal, what am I probably listening to? And typically that's going to be maybe like a synth pop. I listen to a lot of pop music, actually.
Okay. Don't feel bad, because like I do. If I was going to be in another band, I would actually probably do ska, because I was a big ska fan. I loved like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and No Doubt and Jimmy Eat World and shit like that. But other than my metal band that I'm in, I actually do 80s synthwave as a side project.
See, that's what I'm talking about. 80s synthwave is great. Synth pop is great, especially like and then like you can just get with some of the darker stuff too that like has come out of synth pop in the last 20 years has been really great as well. It's all very Joy Division kind of adjacent, right? But what was the oh no, I lost my train of thought. It was bound to happen at least once.
That's all right.
Oh my god.
Oh, ska. I mean, you can't go like, dude. Yeah, third generation ska is just like, I mean, we were talking about the video game stuff earlier, and it didn't come up, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like the soundtracks to those early games and everything. I mean, you just kick out THPS 1 with Goldfinger just busting out, like it's just Superman clean. Introduce an entire like generation to ska.
Yep.
I sure did. And that's where I learned from it from. So on that, now that we're getting towards the end, what is the social media platforms that you guys like to use the best as far as like talking to fans and stuff like that? Where can they get your music? And most importantly, if you have merch, where can they get your merch at?
All of this kind of comes back down to deadmendon'twearplaid.com. We do have merch. I had this. There you go. See, look at that. This is a Dead Man hat that I was kind of wearing earlier. We got a couple things of merch going around. Deadmandon'twearplaid.com. You can find our merch store on there. You can find some of information about our latest release. Otherwise, we are available on your favorite streaming platform, whether that is Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, Apple Music, Deezer, all that good stuff that everybody's. Yeah, pretty much you can find everybody on anything these days with how distribution's going.
Yep, fantastic. So on that, all you that are watching, which there's actually quite a few of you watching right now, hang out because we are about to play the music video for Grievance. And on that,
oh shit.
You guys have a fantastic Monday night. You guys know what we say. Fucking wrap your tool, don't drink and drive, and most importantly, be good to each other.
Be safe.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Get this